First of all, I want to commend Chuck Mullen and Dan Mullen and his staff for the job that they did. He had his team prepared. They played well as a result. They got on top of us early, and we couldn't respond. I felt that we gave them too much too early with penalties, and we never got in sync. Field position was definitely a factor. We put our defense in some bad situations, and we just couldn't respond. But again, I want to take my hat off to them. I also want to, I'm proud of my team. I thought they fought to the bitter end. Obviously, we can't sustain losing like we just did, but I do see a bright future ahead.
School record 645 yards for Mississippi State. What was it on the defense that kept breaking down?
Well, it was always one guy, really. And the other thing is once the ball got to the secondary, it was just hard to bring it down. They were generating speed and got momentum, and we couldn't bring it down. But to give up that much is just unacceptable, regardless of who we had playing back there. And we got to play better. Coming in this game, I felt like we had a great game plan to stop them, and also to just give them to keep them off base in terms of what we were doing. But they broke a couple runs, and we couldn't bring them to the ground.
Coach, the young men to your right had to be a bright spot in an otherwise difficult evening. What comments have you got on Taylor Reed's play?
Well, first and foremost, I was proud of the way that he played. I thought he came in with tremendous poise. And he also, in my opinion, he settled the offense some. We were able to sustain drives and move the ball down the field. And we got in somewhat of a rhythm. We would like to see us put more points on the board. But I do agree that he was a bright spot.
You made the switch pretty quickly. What did you see out of Andy that prompted you to do that?
Well, Andy got injured, actually. That's what happened. He got an ankle injury, and we let him play by probably about another series or two. And it was obvious that it was bothering, but he didn't want to come out, so we had to make a decision just to pull him and put Taylor in.
You don't want to start a quarterback controversy, but what does it look like going into next week?
Well, we got to go back and grade film, to make any comments and adjustment at this particular time would be unfair until we grade film and see exactly what we are. I brought Taylor with me. I know I don't let my freshmen talk, but I want to be here to assist them, so if you got some questions, go ahead and ask.
Taylor, it had to be a big moment for you.
Yes, sir.
Obviously not the way you wanted it, maybe. But how quickly did it take the butterflies to go away?
After about the first play, probably.
The team looked better immediately when you got on the field. What were you doing differently? You got a chance to sit back and see what was going on with Andy. Was that helpful to you?
Yes, sir. It was definitely helpful. I just thought that coming in, I got to see how fast the game was and just get a view from the sideline first. And then coming in, I felt that we could move the ball. And we did at times. We just had to finish drives.
Taylor, what do you think you learned from this? From just getting that much playing time the first game of the year against a nationally ranked team?
Yes, sir. Well, that's probably one of the best teams we'll play this year. And just the speed of the game, it was different. And that's probably what I learned from this game.
Larry, when you see a youngster like Taylor Gibson come in, a freshman, your recruits, and play the way they did, and then you look and see veterans like Rucker making a lot of uncharacteristic drops, a defensive line where you're very deep at, not being able to do anything against Mississippi State's offensive line. What does it say? These are your guys that you've brought in that performed. It happened last year with a freshman running back and a freshman quarterback as well. So you could talk a little bit about that.
Well, again, we're a team, and we got to love them all. It's obvious we got some young guys that can help us, and we want to put them in position to do so. You're right. Rupp had some catches that we expect him to make, and it was obvious that he wasn't ready to play. He's missed a bunch of practice, and I'm not making an excuse for him because he's out there. He got to respond and produce, and that's just the bottom line. But I think again we in our defense, in my opinion, they did a pretty decent job. Our D line. I thought we didn't fit as properly as we should have in certain situations from our linebackers and our safety, which gave up big runs. But I don't think that they just drove our guys off the ball. Now, did they make a few mistakes? Yes. But I think our D-line can certainly truly be an advantage for us as we continue to go down throughout the season.
So it's the second tier, when it gets to the second tier, third tier, meaning the linebackers in the secondary.
Right.
Where the problems exist.
That's guys misfitting. We had some missed tackles, things of that nature.
Amplifying on that, Coach, the big plays have got to concern you. Did you see things that you can tweak, or is it personnel or a combination to eliminate the big plays?
I think we got to do both. I don't want to hit a panic button because I do feel like there's more chemistry and continuity within our defense. But again, we can't sustain the big plays that we gave up. And that's what happened. You look at the way that some of the runs that their backs had. I thought they did a tremendous job of being very patient and allowing things to develop for them. And then we got to be in position to make tackles when that happened, and we just didn't. You look at Ballard's first run, that should have been tackled. You look at the first pass, the first touchdown pass that they had. I understand where the breakdown were. I understand where they were. We got to get them fixed. And like I said, we will look at ways to try to improve some areas in which I think we can. Things I'm concerned about now is just we had a few guys get some injuries that right now on the surface it don't seem as bad, but we'll see here come tomorrow.
Are there any details about Nero's injury? Something new?
Yeah, we think he hyperextended it. To what extent, we don't know. Again, tomorrow, tell us more based on soreness and swelling and things of that nature.
Larry, 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we saw all kinds of defensive breakdowns and giving up big plays. And then 2 years ago,
Right.
and last year.
Right.
And
And tonight.
And again tonight.
Yeah.
Can you help us understand why that happens? Where are the breakdowns coming from?
Well, again, it's about fitting, and fitting in the right gaps and all those things and tackling. You got to be disciplined with your eyes, and that's where it all starts, because that tells you a lot. And then once you're disciplined and you're reading your keys, you react and you fit properly, then the next thing you got to do is just tackle. And again, between the very first place, I know what happened. We got a safety trying to put somebody else in position. He gets stuck trying to help him. Guy get on top of him. He can't, react fast enough, and then it's 7 points. It wasn't a matter of him not knowing what he was doing. He was trying to get somebody else in line, and they ended up catching him. So it's just little things like that. But I think they got some really good field position early. I thought we didn't help them offensively early, and again it just kind of went from there. But you are right. We got to look at finding ways to be able to bring the ball to the ground when it breaks.
Taylor, all this week, everyone has said that they felt like this game would be a good measuring stick of where this team was. Do you feel like you have a better idea of, you and the rest of the team have a better idea of where you stand and what the things that you need to do?
Well, yes, ma'am. I think first off, after watching this film tomorrow, that we'll make a lot of corrections. And just coming off this game, we only scored 14 points, so that's a big difference. We have to change that and put up some more points, some big-time plays. But we'll be ready next week for sure.
You've never played in your life against any team that's as strong, fast, as Mississippi State. At least, did you have fun out there?
That's exactly what everybody told me on the sideline before I went out, was just have fun and make plays and enjoy it because it's a special moment. And that's really what I try to take out there.
Coach Porter, the score kind of got away from you. Obviously, you can't be happy about that. But how would you deem the performance tonight? Are you disappointed? Is what you expected? And then, more importantly, what's the sense in that locker room? How are the kids bouncing back from this?
Well, of course, I'm disappointed. I truly thought that we would play much better than what we did. Very disappointed. I think there's a strong group in there. And I still think what's missing with this team is some confidence. You saw some rhythm, some continuity, some confidence growing when Taylor got in. I think we can build off of that. Defensively, again, I thought they fought. We just can't give up what we gave up, and that's just the bottom line.